welcome to the Sunday service. We're going to meditate few minutes right now. Reverend Panyaloka is going to lead the meditation. After that, Reverend Chandasara is going to give a Dhamma talk. So right now, Venerable Panyaloka is leading Metta meditation.
Good morning to everyone. Take a moment to relax yourself. We are going to practice the loving kindness meditation. Before that, I have to share with you our Kalyana, the precious friend. Now he's sick. He's in the hospital right now. We are going to spread this loving kindness towards him also. May he be well, happy and peaceful. Many blessings to him, much thanks to him. May he recover from his illness soul. Be seated comfortably and close your eyes only if you are comfortable. Take a deep breath of the moment. Allow your body to relax. Let your thoughts to relax. Breathe in and breathe out. If you are having tightened muscles in your body, let all these places to relax and let your thoughts to relax. Now we are going to practice the loving kindness meditation. Spreading the loving kindness towards the whole universe, beginning from yourself. Follow these guided meditation thoughts. May I be well and happy, peaceful and free from suffering. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May no problems come to me. May I always find fulfillment. May I also have patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome the inevitable difficulties, problems and failures in life. May my teachers, all love teachers, parents, brothers and sisters, friends and relatives, my enemies, be well and happy, peaceful and free from suffering. May no harm come come to them. May our difficulties come to them. May our problems come to them. May they always find fulfillment. May they also have patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome the inevitable difficulties, problems, and failures in life. Like this, practice loving kindness thoughts, spread these thoughts to the whole universe. When you hear the bell, you can stop your silent meditation. May all beings in the universe be well, happy, and peaceful.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Venerable Panyaloka, leading the metta meditation. Right now, Reverend Chandasara is going to give a Dhamma talk.
Paying homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Noble Sangha. Good morning, my dear Dhamma friends. Today, I want to speak about the Sammaditthi, the right view, the Buddhism emphasizes how many fold of right view and what are the right view, what is the wrong view. I want to explore the difference and why it's important to understand the distinction between two types of right views and why it is different from just slightly examining why it is different from other religious teachings. So before that, even yesterday, I had about 10 minutes talk at my friend's place in Yakaveli in San Bernardino. I just gave talk about the Sammaditthi, the right view, and the same topic I'm giving today. Before that, I want to relate a story about a follower of the teacher Nigantha Nathaputta. The Nigantha Nathaputta is the founder of one of the ancient Indian religion teaching, that is Jainism. I don't know if some of you have already familiar with the teaching, Nigantha Nathaputta's teaching, that is Jainism. There are many similarities between the Buddha's teaching and his teaching, and there are also many differences. One example is Nigantha Nathaputta also teaching Dhamma, the concept of karma, and we have the concept of karma. The difference is that Nigantha Nathaputta is paying much emphasis on the bodily action as the predominant factor. In Buddhism, the Buddha emphasized much importance, giving important place to the mind. Right? Without mind, there won't be karma. Right? We have to think before we act. Bodily and verbally, we have to think. That's why the mind or chetana, like thinking, cognition comes first. That's the difference. And in this story, can I use this one? In this story, a follower of Nigantha is called Gamini, Asibandaka Gamini. He proudly he visited the Buddha, and he proudly was saying what the Nigantha Nathaputta was preaching about the karma. He said to the Buddha, Nigantha Nathaputta was preaching that if anybody has committed killing, stealing, sexual misconduct or illicit sex, and even telling lies, definitely they are destined to the very suffering state of life in the next life. And for me, it seems like deterministic view, right? There is no escape from our previous karma. And then he proudly said it to the Buddha, how the Nigantha Nathaputta's teaching is like that. And Buddha, and even he was saying to the Buddha that because once we commit, example, killing, the first precept, and because of reflecting over killing again and again, we are definitely destined to the unpleasant rebirth. And Buddha asked him counter question. So that means if you're saying that if we always practice and always engage in killing or whatever, like committing the crime or whatever, and if that is true, then most of the people, most of the time we live not committing crime. Most of our lifetime we do good compared to the crime or compared to killing. So in that case, your logic, your teacher's logic is irrelevant. And also, if your teacher is saying that definitely a person has committed killing should definitely be born in hell, and Buddha was telling him like, the logic was like, there is a way to get out of the consequences. That is, at the moment we realize that killing is not good, stealing is not good, and by the time we stop killing, we stop stealing, and then we start refraining from all those criminal activities or wrong activities, right? And by the time we change our behavior, we change our mental faculties, the thinking process, right? We're changing ourselves, transformation from wronghood to righthood, right? And in that case, we have the chance to change our life from bad to good. And then we have the opportunity to avoid experiencing the results of bad karma, right? But according to Jainism, whatever you did wrong, that's it. You can never change. Definitely after that, even if you did like, let's say sexual misconduct, right? Definitely after that, you'll be born in hell right away. There is no excuse. No any, it's called like, I don't know, like repairing, no repairing for the whatever bad deed we did in the past. And then there is one important fact in that state. Buddha said, however, if a person has committed, let's say, killing a human being, however, if the person always think if the person follows the Nigantanata Buddha's teaching and has developed the mentality thinking like, oh, I have committed killing, I will never escape from its consequences. Definitely I'll be reborn in hell. And that kind of guilty feeling, if the person always sustain throughout his life until death, the person definitely will be born in an unpleasant life, because he continues reflecting again and again on the bad karma he did. The more we reflect on the bad karma we did in the past, the more we accumulate bad karma, right? It's like multiplying, right? Like we get more and more like consequences. But once we realize there is the bad, and we realize that that's very bad, and we give up and we refrain from doing bad, and then we have the chance to escape the consequences, and we have the chance to experience results of good consequences. Because by the time we realize bad is bad, good is good, we try to transform our life. And there is a story about the difference between karma and between Buddhism and Jainism. There is one difference. And here, Buddha was emphasizing that we as a human being, most of the time we live our normal human being, despite religious differences, right? To be a good person, even I don't think we need a religion. We have common sense, right? Even non-religious people, they use common sense. They understand what is good and bad. They can distinctly understand. And even there are people like who told me like, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I understand good and bad. So I avoid bad. I do good. I don't have to be religious to lead a good life. Yeah, that's logical. That is understandable. Anybody has common sense? Yes, they understand good and bad. Not necessarily to be religious person, but religious teachings also helping, right? Because we human beings, we experience both negative and positive, experiences, living in a society, having to deal with different people, right? And sometimes we experience like loneliness and like feeling guilty. Then religion is helping us to get relief from some kind of unpleasant feelings. For an example, we might be experiencing difficulties when we have to suddenly deal with loss and grief. In that situation, whatever religion, maybe maybe Islam, maybe Christianity, maybe Buddhism, they all are helping the individual to cope with any kind of anxiety, relief, and grief. Okay. And let me go back to samadhi, the right view and wrong view. I'm going to connect this teaching with the right view and wrong view. One sutta I like, one of the suttas, very interesting sutta. The sutta, we mean the discourse. Discourses in the Tripitaka. This sutta is in the Sutta Pitaka in Majjhima Nikaya. That's in volume 3. This particular phrases I extracted is from page 71 to 72. That is PTS edition. The sutta differentiate what is right view and what is wrong view. What is noble right view? There are three categories. And the definition is, it says, Sammaditi, Michaditi, Michaditi, Pajanati. That is, the right view, the function of the right view is to understand what is wrong view and what is right view and right view. To distinctively understand right view from the wrong view, that is called the right view. So we'll look at what is right view and wrong view. And then the Buddha lays down Michaditi, wrong view. What is wrong view? There are 10 types of wrong view, and opposite of these 10 types of wrong views are the right view, and they are connected, directly related to punya karma. There's good actions, right? And let's look at what are the 10 wrong views, Michaditi, wrong views. Here, when the sutta includes only 10 types of wrong view, we should not think that there are only 10 types of wrong views, right? Because for our easiness, for like applicability, and for us to keep in mind, they have categorized into 10. But if we use our common sense, if we use our expansive knowledge, if we apply to our life, to this, through this lens, if we look at around us, we understand that it goes far beyond the 10 types of wrong views, and it covers everything. Right? One of the 10 wrong views is, let's say, Nati sukata dukkatana kammanam phalam vipako. However, we have to understand that all these 10 wrong views are rejecting the karma, the concept of the causal action, the action and reaction. There is relationship between action and reaction. The causal relationship. When a person has wrong view, he or she is rejecting the causal connection. And there is the person is rejecting the karma. There is very apparent aspect of wrong view, right? If we reject the karma, that means we think, we don't have to respect our parents, right? We don't have to respect our parents because we are the result of the parents, their enjoyment, right? They enjoy their life, and as a result, we are born. We don't have to respect them. We don't have to look after them, right? When they're grown, we just live like any other animals, right? Even like other animals, they don't sometimes some animals they respect their parents, but most of them different. They don't care, right? So they don't respect parents. They don't respect people who are spiritually developed, right? They don't care. Even they don't care about the next life, the past life, right? However, to lead a good life, because it's just theoretical understanding that we have the past life, we have the future life, right? None of us, I'm sure, have like experience past life and future life, right? That's just a theoretical understanding, right? But if we are follower of the Buddha, we definitely have kind of logical thinking that we are here now, we might have some connection in the past, and we will have the continuation for the future, right? And but there is no evidence for the past life and future life. But if we accept the concept of karma, at least we determine to live a good life in this very life, whether there is next life or not, right? Because we don't have to worry because if you're living a good life, a reasonable, normal life, if there is a life after, we don't have to worry because we'll get a pleasant, better life, right? But we have to worry, like if we do bad, right? If we do bad, commit any crime, because we have to face, like legal consequences, as well as like our like guilty feeling, like we have mental consequences. The legal consequences, like if you do something bad, like if you're caught by the police, we'll be in the jail. There is the legal consequences. And another consequence is we feel like very regret. Oh, I have done this. I shouldn't have done. And then that kind of remorse, if it continues until death, that's very dangerous, bad also. If we maintain that kind of guilty feeling, and if we continue the same activities rather than transforming to the good side, then that's not good. And there are 10 types of the wrong views. I'm not going to read all, but just keep in mind that all these 10 types of wrong views are connected to rejecting the karma, the relevant results of good and bad intentional action. I say intentional action. In Buddhism, Buddha say intentional actions. Any action that is not intentional, that cannot be considered as karma, right? Even the robot, they can accidentally kill people. So we cannot say robot has committed karma, right? It's different. And the first type of samadhi is the opposite of these 10 types of wrong views or miccaditi. That is, let's say, there is a result of giving, there is a result of offering, and we have to respect the parents. But when it says respecting parents, it kind of weird in some cultures, because after 18 years they are totally free from parents. Parents cannot say anything, right? Even like it's very kind of serious, offensive, even if they try to control their children after they're 18 years old. It's different from culture to culture, and we find it very difficult to apply in some cultures. But however, as a human being, like despite the cultural differences, there are people, majority of the people, they respect their parents at least once a year. At least they say hi, hello to their parents, kind of keeping respect rather than you torturing them, rather than disturbing them, annoying them. Just respect them because of them we are the result, right? If they, if they did abortion, right, we will not see the world, right? We have to be grateful to our parents, and this kind of all implies to, having right view, right? Because we were brought up in a way very nicely, we received enough love that we can live longer in the world, like as a perfect grown human being, right, without deprived of limbs or mental cognitive capacity. And Buddha said these types of 10 right views is good enough to lead a good human life and to have a good pleasant life, even the next rebirth. And as well as, if we believe that there is a heaven, and if we believe there is a higher level of heaven, we call it Brahma Loka, we might be born in those heaven and also higher heaven, right? But we have never seen heaven or hell. But however, if we believe, right, we have the opportunity to be born in the heaven if we have the first level of right view. That is, in Buddhism, we call kammassa kata sammaditthi, the right view, believing that I have my own karma. I'm the results of my own karma. Let's say, if I say results of my own karma, that is 20% of the karma, right? We are the results of the karma. Like at least 20% of our previous karma is affecting our life, this life. So, and even, to have these types of 10 right views, we don't have to be Buddhist. Even the normal, like people, like spiritual people who don't have any religion, they still have this kind of right view. They understand what is good and bad, right? And this is good enough to have a good, perfect human life and even to be born in the heaven. But we have the existential suffering, right? Birth, because of birth, we start aging. Aging is finally leading to the death, right? And in between that, during that period of time, we experience a lot of discomforts, unpleasant, like separation from loved ones, right? And having to fight between, like friends or like couple, right? All kind of like difficulties and financial difficulties. And today Ben was teaching us about financial. Thank you very much. And then a lot of existential suffering we have, right? But if we do good with right view, we enjoy the pleasant results of good deeds, right? Our samsara continues, our cycle of rebirth and death continues again and again with experiencing good results, best results. But if we have michaditi, wrong view, we do bad always, and then we continue our samsara, cycle of birth and death, experiencing suffering more and more. Both are extending our cycle of death and rebirth. However, for an individual who understands, there is good enough, because the person is thinking based on the Buddha's teaching, using the Buddha's insight wisdom, saying, in the past, I might have experienced so much suffering. I might have lost parents, spouses, and children, and then I might have killed a lot of animals, human beings, and also somebody also might have killed me. I might have shed all blood in my previous life. So and I don't know in the future how long I have to remain in the samsara, in the cycle of birth and death. And now that's why the samsara is suffering. Yes, we do good, we enjoy pleasant karma, but we still have existential suffering. And now I need to stop my samsara. And then what happened? The person transformed from transformation from bad to good, and the person does not stop there. The person also transformed again to a noble right view, sammaditthi, right? Because to understand good and bad, we don't need religion, as I said, right? In Buddhism, it goes beyond good and bad. That is where, we say, we are stepping into the path to liberation from suffering. So, and the distinction here, the sutta says, the first type of right view has sammaditthi, asava, punya bhagya, upadivepaka. The first type of right view, the activities has sided with meritorious deeds, the good karma. And then sasava, it also has defilements, right? The more we do good, the more we experience good, and we are motivated to do good, to experience more and more. Like we are expecting more and more interest from the bank when we deposit more and more money, right? And kind of that's why it says it is sided by defilements. But for an individual to lead a successful, pleasant life, we need good side, the meritorious deed. But for somebody who feel like it's enough and need to liberate completely from the samsara, then they transform their life, activities, behaviors to the noble right view. The noble right view is without anasava, no defilements. Anasava, lokuttara, that is leading to liberation from suffering, and Magganga, it is path factor. It is the path itself, like Noble Eightfold Path, right? It's leading to complete liberation from suffering. And this statement is clear from other suttas in the Sutta Pitaka. It says, the Buddha says, like definition in the Dhammapada. Most of us are here familiar with the Dhammapada. There is one of the volume, one section in the Khuddaka Nikaya. It's sometimes called the Manual of the Dhamma. And in the Dhammapada, Buddha differentiate like the good and the noble good. A person, an arahant or enlightened one, is someone who has gone beyond good and bad. Punya, papa, pahina. Punya means good, papa means bad. A person who has completely given up, abandoned good and bad, that is, he or she is known as the noble person, enlightened person. And I want to bring out another sutta called Parivimansana Sutta. That is like examination, exploration. In the Parivimansana Sutta, it says, remember, if we believe about the karma, we always try to do good, right? And then, but even if we do good, that also we have like, that's also rooted in ignorance, avijja. According to the Parivimansana, the sutta says, avijjagato purisa puggalo punyance abhisankarati. When a person has ignorance, subdued by the ignorance or having the ignorance, they commit or they accumulate punya, good. They do good, they perform good activities, good karma. And also apunya abhisankarati. And also, like if they have the wrong view, they do bad. Apunya abhisankarati. And the third one is anija abhisankara. Anija abhisankara means a very strong, concrete kind of karma. Only the meditators who have developed jhana. Jhana means like kind of like mental development. Only those people accumulate that kind of very strong karma. It is said after that they are born in a very high realm, like because of their higher mental development. All these three types of karma are the results of having, like ignorance, right? Because like we do more good because we have at least subtle craving to enjoy more and more pleasure in this life and next life. That there is some, like at least to a certain level of avijja, ignorance, for us to do good, right? And even to do bad, we have a lot of ignorance. That's why we do bad, right? But Buddha emphasized in the Parivimansana Sutta, like anybody, a noble enlightened person has completely abandoned bad, good, and even the imperturbable karma. That means like very strong karma. So in that case, a person who has completely destroyed ignorance, avijja, because the person understands there is existential suffering. Even though we do good karma, we have good results, we have perfect life, we have everything luxuries, but we still have existential suffering. Then the person decides, oh, there is enough for me, and the person cultivate wisdom, opposite of ignorance, and as a result of following the right path, the person abandon all karma, good karma, bad karma, and very powerful karma. And as a result, the person has attained the enlightenment. So there is a difference between, like the normal samadhi. For to have normal samadhi, we don't have to be religious, we don't have to be Buddhist. But to have the noble right view, the Arya samadhi, definitely we have to have understanding the Buddha's teaching. And if we work according to it, will be enlightened. That is what Buddha's teaching said. Because I'm not enlightened, I cannot guarantee for 100% sure unless we try ourselves and reach to that enlightenment level. So there's a difference, and now I'm going to stop here. We have about 10 minutes more. Any clarification or anyone who wants to share anything, I'm happy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
So it sounds like there's multiple levels of progression here, right? So if you recognize right view and good action, the mental faculty is most important. And when you begin, you do the good action because maybe you expect good action in return, good results. And if I'm hearing correctly, that's the root of ignorance, which is doing good action with the expectation that something good comes back. But then the next level is doing the good action because you fully understand that that is the way that things work. So at that point, it's irrelevant to you what comes back because maybe you understand interconnectedness and emptiness, and that's the true enlightenment. Do I have that correct? Different levels there?
Yeah, you're correct. Right? Because, and even, we have to understand that, like, even if we do not expect, like, at the noble level of right view, even if we do not expect the good results of good deeds, it is still, like, giving us good result, right? But at the second level of right view, the person does not expect good returns, but he's still experiencing. They are experiencing the results, even though they are not expecting. Their sole purpose is to be liberated completely from this existential suffering.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And can I ask you, would you mind reading the 10 elements that the Buddha specified?
Yeah, sure.
I would love to hear the
Yeah,
10 if that's
yeah.
okay.
I have in Pali, but I'll translate you. First one, it says nothing. Yeah.
Amazing, by the way.
You say right view, right? Right view or wrong view? But it's
Right view.
yeah, whatever. But it's like opposite of right view is the wrong view. Let me read the wrong view. That way we can just turn into right view. Yeah. The first of wrong view is nati dinang. The person who has wrong view, he thinks there is no results of giving. Right? Second one, nati yitang. There is no results of giving to someone when they come to us begging. Some people begging like food, money, and people who believe we'd say nihilistic. People who have nihilistic ideas, views, they reject the actions, the results of good and bad action, and they think, oh, there is no use of giving to anybody. Don't give. It's waste of money. Don't give it. You don't get anything good or bad karma. Don't give it. Right. So that kind of nihilistic ideas is rejected from this. Right. But a person who has the wrong view, he thinks there is no results of giving to somebody who came to begging. Nati hutang. It says, there is no results of giving kind of special kind of dana, or maybe sometimes some people they do ceremony service like memorial service, giving to the church, giving to the temple, and they think, oh, there is no use of giving. It's waste of your wealth. Don't give it, right? Because after that there is no life. Like even those kind of wrong views and people who are adhering to such wrong views is very dangerous. They don't believe the values of moral, ethical life, right? They don't believe. And then nati sukat dukkatanam kammanam phalam vipako. They do not believe in the good and bad results of good and bad actions. Okay. And then nati ayang logo. They do not appreciate this world. Right? Because we have this world, right? We have teachers, we have parents, we have all like society like we appreciate this world, right? Ayang local, we accept this world as a world, right? World means the life, this life. But in deeper meaning, it goes to kind of suspicious about our present life, thinking like, oh, am I existing in this world? Am I not existing in this world? The person is kind of confused about his own life, kind of hallucination, illusion, delusion about his own life in his very life. And then the person might be, like finally end up with having crazy, and also some kind of like, we'd say, kind of, I don't know, cognitive impairment kind of things, because the thinking is very different, right? And then nati paraloko, the person does not accept the future, like next life, right? And nati mata, they do not appreciate the mother. Mata means mother. Nati pita, the father, they do not appreciate the father, right? They don't care. Like even sometimes I hear like people are, even in front of them they're shouting, like scolding in very bad language, like even they're swearing on their father and mother. Yeah. And nati sapta upapadika, they do not believe that there are living beings. They are born autonomously. That means there are beings, they just appear. They don't need parents to be born. Like some maybe bacteria, maybe some like we believe like heaven, like the beings in the heaven, they just appear because of their good karma, but they don't need parents. There are living beings like that in the universe. They don't need parents, upapadika. And even the human being sometimes can be upapadika. Like autonomous rebirth. How? Just briefly, because we don't have time. There is, suppose a mother has conceived a baby, right? So before delivery, the consciousness of the baby goes out, right? Then suddenly another consciousness enters to the mother's womb, and the second consciousness becomes an autonomous rebirth, right? Because the first consciousness, first being enter into the mother's womb, like he or she supposed to stay, be born, continue to grow with the fetus and to be born into the world. But because of the karma or because of some changes, the consciousness go out of the mother's womb, and then suddenly another living being comes into the mother's womb. That's how, and then the baby is born. Suppose if there is no second being entering into the womb, it's kind of abortion will happen, because the fetus will never continue longer if there is no consciousness, right? So the second consciousness is become like a upapadika, like a autonomous rebirth. It's considered as like without parent, because the first fetus was the results of the parent, right? The like mother's and father's relationship, and that brought like conception. But second consciousness just entered to someone's intended body, and then it has very deeper and deeper more analysis. I don't want to go that. And the next one is nati loke samara brahmana samagata samma patipanna. That means there are spiritually developed people, and also there are people who have developed their mind. They can see the previous life. Even during the time of the Buddha, we have stories like some brahmanas, some ascetics, they could see their previous life, even the previous lives of other people, and they can predict what will the person be in the future, in the next life. And there are people like that, they know the truth to a certain extent, maybe not perfect. They're teaching to the people, oh, there are things like this, there are things like that, and about life, our human life, and the person does not believe in those teachings. They think, oh, there is nothing called like that, right? And the next one, where did it go? Next one is, that is the last one. There are 10. So if we change into opposite, that is like believing in the results of giving, that is the sammaditi. Because by the time we understand wrong view is wrong view, and we abandon wrong view, and we start believing in karma. The time we start believing in the karma, the results of good and bad action, intentional action, then that time we kind of developing the right view, right? And as a normal being, this kind of right view is good enough to live pleasant, wonderful, successful, and luxurious life in this world. Yeah, those are the like right view and wrong view and function of the right view and wrong views.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then one of the last question for you. You said in your talk there is no evidence for rebirth, and in what way are you going to explain this? Because I have some evidences for rebirth. I think at a later time I'm ready to give a talk on that topic. But in what way, Venerable Chandasara, can you please explain there are no evidences, there is no evidence for rebirth, and how do you defend that? I mean, your reason.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean no evidence because I didn't experience it. I didn't see it through my knowledge because I didn't develop a knowledge kind of mental development. I don't have right. That's why I cannot say there is rebirth. But if I use the theory, the Buddhist theory, yes, there is rebirth because the teaching of karma is accepting the past life and future life, right? It's kind of continuation, right? But it's personal from me, like because I don't see from my knowledge, and also like if you look at the research, the academics, they have done research, they have proved like past life and future life. Even they have like children like around age 10 or 9, they can remember their previous life, and they describe how they were there, how they died in their past life, and what happened, and they recall their like relatives, parents, right, their names and the villages, and by research it has proven there was a past life, right? And if there is a logical to believe that if there was a past life, there will be the future life, right? And saying that, I mean like to lead a good life, pleasant life as a human being, having a common sense, right? Like in the Western countries, because most of the people, they don't want to believe in next life. They just try to live in this world, enjoy everything, pleasures or whatever, right? And to live the life maximum. And in that case, right, if the person has common sense, the right view, even if they believe in the next life or not, it doesn't matter. If they live a good life, if they think they don't have future life, it doesn't matter. But if they think they have the future life, that's good for them. And then because they're still living a good life, even if they're not religious or non-religious. But here I'm saying like because I don't have direct knowledge. It does not mean I do not reject the rebirth. It doesn't mean I do not reject the previous life. If I reject, I would be like fatalistic. I am not a nihilistic. Thank you. But like it's good that you have asked the question, because sometimes people will be misunderstand if there is no clarification. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Anand.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Bhante. Very good selection. Very important. The Buddha, he talked a lot about anatta and no self.
Yeah.
And I feel like you mentioned the root of ignorance, and I feel like sometimes the problem is self, how we identify, how we look at ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my money, only for me. Or this is my life, I want to enjoy it to the fullest, forget about the next life.
Yeah.
So how is the right view to look at who am I, or to look at yourself? What is the right view in looking at the self?
Yeah, that's a very tough question, and also the answer also it would be like kind of, sometimes I have to be careful. I cannot directly answer. Some answers might be misleading. Even Buddha followed this same pattern, right? Don't want to misunderstand. So here, in simply, we can use the term Paticcasamuppada, dependent co-arising theory, right? We use that framework to look the concept of self through the framework of dependent co-arising theory, and we understand that the concept of self, right? So the self itself is not a problem, right? There is a concept of self. Even in Digha Nikaya, there is a sutta. I think Vachagotos, I can't remember exactly. The sutta says like there is a concept of self, but the only thing is like we cannot say there is a permanent self, right? Human being, we have the 5 aggregates, right? Like we have physical body and mental body, right? All connected. That's why we can see a human being moving, speaking, all daily activities, right? But we cannot say this is a permanent entity. Everything's changing, right? The moment I'm now, after one moment, I'm kind of changing, right? Years of changing. And when it comes to the self, right? The concept of self is giving rise to misunderstanding and desire. Because of the concept of self, thinking, I am, right? Esohamasmi, right? I am, thinking, oh, I'm permanent. My soul is permanent. I have the soul, non-changing. In the past, I'm same. In the future, I'm same, no changing. So there is the difference of self in other religion in the past in India, and the Buddha's concept of self is different because we, according to Buddhism, we accept there is something like human beings, but it's the result of dependent co-arising theory, right? All are interconnected, right? We have mental body, physical body, they're interconnected, but they're subject to constant changes. And even if you look at through the lens of 3 characteristics, that is called tilakkhana, impermanent, suffering, and no self, right? Then we understand like there is no essence in the concept of self that we can consider as a self. The Buddha said, oh monks, if the self is permanent, if the soul is permanent, will our body, will our mind change? Will our body be aging? If you consider our body is soul, will the body change? Can I have control over my body? If this body is my self, real soul, when I say, oh, my body, it should not change. I want to keep it as a young. I don't want to like go like 60, I don't want to appear like 60 years old, So I cannot keep it like under my control. It proves the non-self concept. And there is a like concept, but it's not a permanent, right? We cannot consider soul like body or mind as a permanent entity. They're all changing and changing. But only the problem arises when we think our body and mind are permanent, it's not changing, and then either we like because of this wrong concept of self, we cultivate either one of the 2 wrong views. And again, like eternalistic wrong view, that is sassata ditti, that is like this is my soul, it doesn't change, and they have the deterministic belief, right? After a certain period of life or certain amount of lifetimes, only then we attain the enlightenment. That is their eternalistic view. And another view is nihilistic view. That is, after my body died in this life, there is no more. That is it, nothing more. So no need to protect precepts, no need to do good. Just live as whatever you want. Even in Upanishad, we find sutras like, when you're living, you have to enjoy your life even by taking loan. It means like don't care about moral life, just enjoy it as you wish, because there is no life after that. Just enjoy, use maximum of your life, And yeah, if we have the wrong concept about the self, taking as a soul as a permanent entity, then we have either we adopt a nihilistic wrong view or the eternalistic wrong view. But eternalistic wrong view is much more better than nihilistic view, because eternalistic view, they at least accept the karma to a certain point, and they believe in like morality, right? That they use common sense, like, oh, we have to behave in a good, we should not torture other people, right? And
Just
thank
one
you.
thing. Thank you for a very wonderful, exciting
Thank you.
learning, and I think we all feel that way at the temple.
Also, I need life for my soul.
And also, I finally heard about your past lives.
So we all have wrong views of it.
Yeah.
Wonderful talk.
Thank you for everybody. I think we have to chant page 4 and page 10. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato
Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddham saranam gacchami
Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them all. Deluding passions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them all. Dharma gates are limitless. I vow to study them all. Buddha's way is supreme.
I vow to attain it.
May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearlessly.
And
The grieving shed all grief, and the sick find health relief.
Thank you for everybody. We have tea and cookies. Few announcement. Next Sunday, I believe February 2nd, Kusal is going to speak. February 9th, we're going to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Please come and join with us. We invite some guest monks, maybe 5-6 monks coming from different temples. We have Dhamma for the monks, and we have lunch for everybody. We have Thai, Vietnamese, and Sri Lankan food. Please come and join 9th of the February. That's it right now. Again, thank you for everybody. By the power of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, you all be well and happy.
I got
Sadhu,
sometimes difficult.
sadhu, sadhu.